Strong final matchup, absolutely. Let's go, Aaron. I'm seeing Lorcana Fanatic say, oh, what's up? That's our friends. Here we go. We're doing our draws, getting into the mulligan phase, and getting pumped. We're going to see this Ruby Amethyst match up of the ages. This is really going to come down to the strength of the people running these decks.
So let's talk again. So we have, again, two high-caliber players here. As I highlighted before, Bobby lost one round in the Swiss rounds of this tournament, and that was to Aaron. Although, another note, Bobby's deck, I think, is teched for this matchup. I think Spellbook is teched in there for the control. Yeah, one thing we're going to see, Aaron runs the Pan's Shadow. Aaron, a few weeks ago, when we covered a tournament with him, I think that's when we first saw Pan's Shadow kind of break into the scene in these decks for the mirror. It was around that time. People were running it, but I think we saw it really take off around that time. So Aaron was kind of at the forefront of that, although I won't credit him with setting the trend necessarily. So Aaron's going to be running the Pan's Shadows here for the mirror, while Bobby's running the Spellbooks. For this matchup. So, yeah. I'm not sure if Aaron's running the crabs. I do want to take a look at that.
You got to be careful when you say that.
Yeah. Somebody asking about the hand control player. That was Aaron who won that round in 3 games. So the discard deck did go 3 games against Aaron in the last round, so it's very close. And the pilot there, Robert Green, did an excellent job.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun watching Robert play.
And we're off.
All right, here we go. Bobby on the play. Is that right? Did I do it right?
You did.
On the play, and Aaron on the draw.
Excellent.
Hey, look at me learning things. It only took 14 hours of us doing commentary here at TCG Houston. I guess we're 11 hours in. Don't want to oversell myself. We got Classy Mini on Classy Mini action already, right off the bat.
Yep.
You pumped? You ready for this? You excited?
I am. This is good. In these control games, they're going to be long, probably.
Yeah.
Again, any one of these decks is capable, if left unchecked, to close out the game in 5-6 turns with a couple minis, but they're probably going to be long. So when they start, and you start seeing for the very first, you see these turn 1 drops, these Minnie Mouses, you're just kind of like, it's kind of like the preview, you're just getting things warmed up.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious how far we'll go with the pure mirror here. It seems like, the sort of script for the first few turns is very, very similar across anyone playing these decks. So,
yeah. It'd be breezy in the chat here looking for the llama on turn 2, perhaps. And we know from Aaron it is a possibility.
All right.
And there we go.
There's the snake. Snake eating the mouse, putting it back in the hand.
There we go. Teeth and ambitions.
Well, that was inked, and there we go. We got another mirror right there. So mini to snake, mini to snake. That was a mini in the inkwell. And an evasive mini right there, and the snake is going to quest.
I'd venture to guess that this is almost the ideal, board state for Bobby going into turn. Okay. And there's the mini again.
And the trade, and we got
mini
and mini. There we go. So Bobby, I think, has a 1 lore advantage with that. I believe the snake quested.
Oh, that's a good point.
We now have the mini on mini evasives. Okay. Here it is.
All right, hard play. So choosing there, Bobby chose to play Friends with the ink rather than Sing. But part of it is, again, highlighting the crab in the matchup. So one thing Bobby could be thinking is, he used the crab to effectively remove a mini, and actually we know over there that Aaron has the crab as well in his hand. So if mini is left exposed, it becomes vulnerable to the crab challenger buff. And we saw Bobby do that last round to kind of swing a game. So that's why the decision there to play Friends with ink rather than singing it with Minnie Mouse is because Bobby likely was worried about that crab and Minnie Mouse removing his Minnie Mouse for low cost.
There we go. All right, we got our lore updated now. Looks like Bobby's got 2 lore, Aaron with his 1. Yeah, because the mini quested and then was bounced, and then the snake quested.
Yeah.
Okay. We're all squared away now.
But yeah, so this is interesting. I mean, you see, going back to the crab, it's fun to talk about. You see the crab having impacts here. You know, Bobby is playing as if Aaron has the crab, which we know he does, and so that's 2 lore that Bobby gave up because he knows that Aaron's running the crab and that is an option. And so, you know, sometimes, you know, teching your deck a certain way against the mirror like this can have, you know, can make your opponent, can change the way your opponent plays because they know the possibilities there. Because without the crab in the deck, you know, Bobby is probably questing with Minnie Mouse in that scenario.
Okay. We're starting to build. There's another rabbit. Again, we got 3 rabbits on the table. We've had a max of 6
7.
rabbits.
7.
Do we have 7 on the table?
On the table, no.
No, we had 6 on
rabbits.
the table.
The 7th played.
Our last match.
This is very important for us to track.
Yeah. We have yet to have an 8 rabbit match total. And we'll see if we can get 6 rabbits on the table again. Oh, then we got a bounce rabbit. Trading a fox for rabbit, picking up a card. Then inking, and let's see, maybe another rabbit coming back out. We'll see.
Not enough ink, but
oh, is rabbit 4?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we could see. Yep, there's the Cusco.
Hey, llama time. So, rabbit is the MVP as of right now.
I think it is.
That rabbit's doing work today. All right, Aaron goes questing with a rabbit.
Yeah, and again, the thing about the rabbit, you know, you like to have it stick around so you can target it with bounce, but if it gets removed, you know, it doesn't feel awful. So,
yeah.
Happy to send it questing.
Yeah.
Get a card out of it. Bobby making the same calculation.
It's like a baby Mufasa a little bit. Like you get something. You get, you know, he goes away, but hey, you still get something out of it. You get a card. And there it goes. There we go. Bouncing.
And the rabbit back.
Very similar strategies here.
Yeah, so both players are playing pretty measured. You know, they're working towards turn 7 now, so they all know that unlocks possibilities for their opponent and for them. I do think, you know, both players would like to be more aggressive with that Minnie Mouse, and would be, you know, if you think about it, if that Minnie Mouse had been questing each turn for Bobby, let's say, Bobby would have another 6 lore on the board. But yeah. The crab is really, the possibility of the crab is really what's forcing both players to be conservative with their Minnie Mouse here. Of course, the crab, and then I'll offer that Aaron running Pan's Shadow as well. Pan's Shadow giving the Fox rush, or I'm sorry, evasive, also allows him to deal with that Minnie Mouse.
Speaking of Minnie goes questing.
As I say that, right, Minnie Mouse goes questing. And one of the reasons I think that is because we're reaching turn 7. So now that, and here's the crab payoff that we were talking about. So Bobby knows that a board clear is coming. Board clear is an option for him as well. And so choosing to gain lore out of Minnie Mouse, possibly making it vulnerable to the crab or Pan's Shadow, because he knows the board is likely to be cleared very soon. And maybe he's even planning on doing it.
Okay.
But that crab combo, once again, you know, I said it earlier, like that crab is in this deck for the mini on mini. Is it one of the top 3 reasons? And there we see it paying off again.
All right, we got 4 ink for another rabbit. So I think we got 1 discarded already.
We do.
So I don't think we're not gonna beat. But we had 6 rabbits on the table at one point, so we still have a chance. There's still a chance out there for our 6 rabbits, and then we win, and then that actually means we win. The casters win today's event.
That's true. So here we go, another quest, and I'm willing to bet here that we're going to see the board clear. There it is. So, you know, sometimes in these matchups, you know, what it comes down to, every board clears a reset, and so you try to put yourself in a good scenario, perhaps getting Ursula on the board or something to sing it so you can play a character immediately. But also, if you know it's going to be reset, you know, part of the goal is to push your lore as high as possible each reset, to kind of sneak out some more lore. So Bobby, I think, doing exactly what he wanted to do, controlling the game, pushing his lore to around 10. And Ursula.
Oh, Ursula dropping down.
By around 10, I mean 8 now. and then clearing the board and resetting it. So.
All right, Ursula out there, which means she can also sing Be Prepared if she hangs around long enough.
Yeah, and Olaf is a great play there, and the biggest reason is because, it is an outlet for Lady Tremaine if Bobby chooses to play something else big in this exact scenario here. So what Olaf has done, sneaking that out on the last turn, is made it so Maleficent isn't the only target for Lady Tremaine when she's played.
Yep. That makes sense. You need a snowman to be a bodyguard for a giant dragon. Just standing in front of that hit.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Okay, Teeth and Ambitions going to the Inkwell. Questing with Minnie, taking the 1. Bouncing the Minnie.
Okay, so here we have...
Rushing the Olaf.
Lady Tremaine to take out the Maleficent. And Bobby knows. Bobby knows exactly what it is.
He went ahead and just like, well,
yeah, so the snowman forcing Aaron to deal with it first before he can remove the Maleficent with the Lady Tremaine. So did some work, but ultimately Aaron had the answer.
Okay.
I believe Bobby was on the play.
Yes, Bobby was on the play. That's a term I learned during this tournament.
There you go.
Okay, again,
you've learned several terms. You've learned on the play. You've learned mill. You've learned wheel.
Sure. Mill and wheel.
Yep.
Pat say Jack.
Pat say Jack.
All right, Bobby throwing out a goat, picking up an extra lure there. Bobby's halfway there. And hands it on over to Aaron.
I have Aaron a lot of cards in hand over there, though, so plenty to work with.
There's a rabbit.
And Rabbit giving him 1 more.
Okay, so he's still got 5 ink left. 6 ink now that he inked a mini. Throwing down 6. Playing a Lady Tremaine. And Bobby's got to decide between the Maleficent and the goats. Who's going to go? Down goes Maleficent. And we're getting questing for another 3 for Aaron.
Yeah, so a little bit of board control here, but I do think possibly the calculation here is Lady Tremaine has 2 lore. So Aaron's looking to push his lore total a bit higher, put him within goat striking distance. Bobby, I can't say many... I was going to say Bobby has a lot of cards in hand. So both characters with answers here, but I wonder how much the Lady Tremaine there was just getting another 2 lore character on board in addition to dealing with one of Bobby's smaller characters.
And the goat singing friends on the other side. Pick up a couple more cards. There goes the Be Prepared. Bobby will get the lore for the goat.
And
bumps him up to 11.
And that's exactly right. So Bobby now with 2 Be Prepareds having been played. But I think Aaron was looking to draw that out with that Lady Tremaine, putting a lot of lore on the board and forcing Bobby to play that board clear.
And it basically kind of like upends the table a little bit over towards Aaron's side, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, once you have a certain number of lore showing the board, it kind of forces Bobby to react, and I think that's what Aaron was trying to do.
All right, so 8 to 11 now. Back over to Aaron. Exerts 4 and plays a goat. So that bumps him up to 9.
2, will we see the bounce?
And there's the
bounce.
bounce. There's 10.
And with 10 lore, you know it's coming.
And
interesting. Okay, so let me see if he does the goat again.
Yeah, I figured honestly it'd be another goat, but he hadn't inked yet.
It could be the goat, but the reason it's not. Well, okay, so Minnie Mouse there can quest for lore. She's lore on the table. The other reason you may not play the goat, let's say you didn't have Minnie Mouse, is because you have other bounce options in your hand. You play the goat, it's removed.
Yeah.
Now that's 1 less lore you can get with it. So keep it in your hand, and then you're able to bounce it again later, despite your opponent's removal.
That does make sense.
But Minnie Mouse is a good play here. Bobby's played 3, I was going to say 2 Be Prepared, 3 Be Prepared. The Minnie Mouse really forcing that. I do wonder if Aaron was hoping that Bobby didn't have another one available. You play 2 at this point of the game, and you hope that 2 are left in the deck. But
yeah.
I think he was really trying to push it, but still didn't overextend himself. Able to play the goat. There he is again.
All right, we're all knotted up at 11. 4 more for another goat. That makes it 12 in Aaron's favor.
Makes it 12, but with the goats, you're showing 14.
Yeah.
So...
All right, so 3 more ink. What else is he going to play? What's he going to use? Oh, hand it off. All right, goat goes away. Bumps up Aaron to 13.
So no more. Bobby, say I'm not kidding around anymore with the goats. I'm going to get one removed here.
And questing with Kuzco there. Bobby at 12, Aaron at 13. Back over to Aaron. Still got one goat on the table, so I imagine we'll see a bounce and maybe a replay of that same goat. Bring him up to 15. That is, Maleficent dropping Lady Tremaine. Goat questing up to 14.
Yeah, goat questing, goat represents another lore, so that's 15 lore. With Maleficent, that brings him up to 17. Bobby now, Maleficent is big, but the biggest danger it presents is that 2 lore there, so Bobby wants to deal with that if he can. There's the Dragonfire, which is ironic, I suppose. Dragon side, Wormicide.
Yeah, just,
Yep.
just immediately banished itself. That feels weird. It's like a shadow match.
That is true. So Bobby all fired up, taking care of Maleficent there.
Boo.
The puns are coming in strong. I apologize.
It's been a long weekend, you guys.
I apologize.
Thank you so much, everyone watching right now. All of you guys out there live here on Pro Play Games Live on Twitch. We appreciate you all watching. Hopefully you're having a fun time. Again, let the guys know that you enjoy listening to us. We've been here for every single round this weekend. 7 yesterday, and today, this is, I think, our third round. All right, Bobby's going questing.
Yeah, so Bobby's going wide here. Getting a bunch of little characters on the board. The only answer Aaron has for that, he can remove a couple with some rush characters, but really at this point, the more. Oh man, this is good.
Okay. Aaron's planning out his play right now, thinking about what he's going to do. I want to say I see Peter Pan's Shadow in hand.
So at this point in the game, Aaron, I don't believe, has played a Be Prepared yet. He's really been on drawing them out. So Bobby is calculating based on the number of cards that Aaron has seen. He probably has a Be Prepared, and he's playing with that knowledge in mind. So I'm going wide here with smaller characters at 14 lore. It's kind of inviting Aaron to play out that Be Prepared, clear the board, and then Bobby probably has a plan, or definitely has a plan for afterwards. But that's really what he's trying to pull here. So there it goes. Goat bounces back.
Bounce. That's 2 lore already this turn from that single goat. And there is 4. We're going to see Peter Pan Shadow. All right, we're trading a Fox for a Maleficent.
And Peter Pan Shadow with Rush. Yep. So Aaron did not play the Be Prepared. Had other options with the Rush characters. Fox is just so good in this deck.
4 more for the goat back out again.
And there's the goat, 17.
17.
Okay. So goat representing 18 on the removal, and now Pan's Shadow would close the game out. So Bobby really needs to remove, ideally, both characters here, and both of them with evasive makes it tricky. So has to figure out.
All right, so he's got 10 ink out
how to
there.
remove 2 evasive characters.
All right, now he's going to look through the discard. They're both sharing discards, seeing what they have and have not used yet.
Yeah. So interesting. Bobby, Bobby's looking for, probably he's seeing how many bounce cards have been played, how many Madam Mims are down there. Is it likely that Aaron has one to bounce the goat again? Aaron probably taking a look because, hey, if you're going to look at my discard pile, I'll take a look at yours and kind of plan a little bit.
Trade.
Well, may as well get that information. Why not? You're taking the time to do it. I'll take a look as well. But yeah, Bobby having to deal with those evasive characters, which is such a challenge, and that's one of the reasons why Pan Shadow is good in this deck. It is good offensively in order to remove your opponent's evasive characters, but it also is good in this case defensively, giving the Fox evasive, and that 1 lore on the Fox could be all the difference. So.
Sounds like they're doing a Lorcana draft.
Yeah.
Here at the booth.
All right, so thinking it through here.
Okay. So, Aaron, again, very kind, showing off all of his ink, all of his characters, very nicely displayed out there. Bobby got a good setup as well.
Now, there's another calculation here, too. Having watched Bobby last game. All
right, there's Elsa.
Okay.
All right.
So, this is fun. There is 1 Elsa in Bobby's list. a single Elsa being played for a scenario exactly like this. Now, Elsa, of course, exerting two of Aaron's characters they cannot unexert, and so Pants Shadow and Madam and Fox are off the table this board. Or, I'm sorry, off the board this table. Can't quest this turn. Wow. Can't quest this turn. And that really sets up Bobby well for next turn.
And so, okay, we got the Goat taking down Maleficent.
This is Knife's Edge.
Another Maleficent taking out Elsa. Okay, and I think, yeah. And so now, Bobby.
So this is interesting. So knowing what I know about last game and what Bobby has, I would not be surprised if Bobby was holding on to Goats, bounces, like has 3 or 4 lore, at least 2 lore in his hand ready to play. So with the Kuzco remaining, that's 1 lore, and if he can somehow squeak out 3, that would be a Goat, bounce, Goat, 12 ink, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 ink short, perhaps. No. 10 ink would do it. So, a Goat, Snake, Goat.
That would be 3.
Would be 3 with the Kuzco 4. So,
okay.
So Bobby could have.
So if he's got a
the
Goat
winning
and a
hand.
Snake, this could do it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
A Goat Snake Spellbook, I think, would also do it. And I know Bobby, watching him play, he likes to keep those options in his hand so he can close out the game rapidly when he's 3 or 4 lore away.
All right. So that was a trade. Okay.
Was that Bobby with the trade?
Yeah, Bobby took out Kuzco.
Okay. So in that case, we're likely to see here.
Be prepared.
Dragonfire.
Dragonfire,
No, okay.
Me.
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's see what else we see.
All right, yeah, he's got to do some work here. There's Spellbook for 1.
No, that's just not going to do it, and that's the scoop.
All right, well, there we go.
Yeah, so
Aaron with the first round.
He had the Be Prepared top deck.
Oh.
1 more turn, and the Be Prepared is there, and that's the game. So yeah, really, really interesting. I do want to point out, that came down to the Knife's Edge, but Bobby, with the cards in his deck, had the possibility to close that out if he had the right combination of cards. A Goat bounce, Spellbook would do it. He had the Spellbook. Didn't have the Goat bounce maybe, but would have loved to play a Be Prepared there. That would have given him another turn to kind of close things out, but that was so close. 1 turn away from Bobby being able to play that Be Prepared and take it out. So
if you're into geeky, nerdy stuff, Con is a place to go. These things are great.
So one thing to note going in this round, I believe Bobby was on the play that round, and he did not get the W, which means he'll be on the play again this round. So if you believe that gives you an advantage, now Aaron is on the draw this game, but if he loses, he'll be on the play in the last game. So the chance to close it out while going first. So if you in a 3-game set, if you can take the first game on the draw, it really feels good. It really feels good.
All right, here we go. Kicking it off. Olaf out the gate. Olaf out the gate.
And it is.
This is as mirror-y as you can mirror. We'll see what's going to be next. What's the second card? Call it.
Quest. Second card. I don't know. I want to say Kuzco. Kuzco's vulnerable to Teeth and Ambitions. There's the snake. Yeah, so Kuzco is an option here on turn 2, but against this other deck, Teeth and Ambitions with a 1/3 on the board is an option to remove Kuzco. So, they may not want to play that. Getting the snake on the board, gives you a little more strength to deal with stuff. So, and here we are again with a mirror.
All right, so we are 1-1. Aaron and Bobby both with 1 lore. We'll get the tracker updated here in a second. Wait, this isn't game 3. It is not, but it could be the final match if Aaron wins this one. All right, looks like a snake went questing. So we're at Bobby with 2, Aaron with 1. All right, and there is the evasive mini coming out.
Is a true mirror here.
Wow.
And once again, we're going to see both players forced to react to the possibility of a Merlin Crab in their opponent's hand. Both players would love to be questing with their mini mouses here. Their mini mice. Their mini meese. But the crab makes that difficult.
And I think, does that put Bobby at 3? Is it 3-1 right now?
We're waiting for the official count to catch up there.
Yeah, we have our tech at the table. Who's keep? There we go. And we're updated.
Snake trade. I think this is almost exactly the way the last game started. Yeah. Snakes trading. 4. We're going to see the rabbit.
We got rabbits. It is a perfect mirror. Here we go. And I will say that was a goat inked as well. down
Okay,
there.
so here's Aaron being a little more aggressive. Aaron knows Bobby plays the crab, and so here's Aaron saying, hey, I'm going to quest with Minnie. If you've got the crab, go ahead and use it.
Yeah, I dare ya.
And there it is.
Oh, crap. And the crabified Mini takes out the non-crabified Mini.
Yep.
Okay. Bobby currently in the lead with that 4 lore to 3. They always move quick. They always start very fast, and they start slowing down around turn 5 or 6 or so, I'd say. Okay.
Teeth and Ambitions being sung.
And down goes Minnie. And the fox bounces the rabbit.
There's a friends going in there. So I will draw attention to Aaron's hand. Aaron is currently has a bit of an inkable problem, I believe. There's 3 Ursulas in hand. Oof. There's 1 rabbit, 2 rabbits. There is nothing inkable in that hand right now. So Aaron's in a bit of a spot, hoping to draw inkable cards. Now he can use the rabbits to help him get there, so 2 cards per turn, but has limited options as far as inkable cards. And that's one of the dangers in this game. You draw wrong, and your options become limited.
Yeah. And we saw them shuffling. You guys all saw it happen. So.
Yeah.
All right, playing 4 ink, 4.
There's the rabbit. Aaron hoping for an inkable card here. Gets it, but it's a painful one to ink. Oh, no, Minnie Mouse. There we go. He did get it on the draw. And getting a goat there, that draw.
All right, there we go. Rabbit questing for Bobby. Up to 5 to Aaron's 3. Playing down a fox.
Yep. There's the card draw.
And fox has nothing to challenge, so... And
there's
rabbit back down.
Yeah, so Aaron again, like he is as he's drawing, like drawing any uninkable card feels painful at this point. There's friends. Great top deck for him. Getting an extra 2 cards, probably solving his uninkable problem. Although I do see a Be Prepared, which is also uninkable. And so he's sitting again with a whole handful of uninkable cards, unfortunately.
There's Ursula, which is going to knock Bobby down to 4.
Yeah, but the upside is all of Aaron's cards, with the exception of Be Prepared, allow him to draw.
Yeah.
So he can work around his limited ink with some of these cards.
Okay. Keeping it pretty tight, pretty close match right now. Lady Tremaine comes out, knocks out the Ursula. God, I love the art on that Lady Tremaine.
That's
so cool.
Very good.
There's a lot of cards with cats as like extra props in the actual cards.
Prop cats.
Yeah, I got Minnie got her prop. Lady Tremaine's got her props. All right, here we go. We got 7 and Be Prepared it is. Got to pick up 1 for the rabbit there in hand.
Again, Aaron would love to sing that. So the removal of Ursula is really important because without being able to sing it, Aaron, of course, can't put anything else on the board, and now Bobby is able to rebuild his board quicker.
Okay, we got a goat. It's going to bump up Bobby. Got a Cusco as well, adding a little extra fodder out there for Lady Tremaine play. All right, what's coming out here? We got 3-7 being played for an Ursula. So Bobby drops down again. Aaron inking an enchanted Maui. And we've got some snowman fodder. So for the exact same play on the other side.
That is true. 5 Dragonfire the Ursula.
Dragonfire again. With that Dragonfire has been doing some damage.
It has been doing some work. And again, Bobby runs 2 of them. And we're seeing both cards in this deck, in Bobby's list here, which differ, I think, from most of the Ruby Amethyst builds out there, and that's Dragonfire and Spellbook. Both of them uninkable, and so there's sacrifices to be made in the list. But Bobby, I think, built these cards just for this matchup, and so we're going to see if it gives if they give him the edge here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Dragonfire, there's 2 in this list, and we've seen them do work for Bobby every game that we've seen him play.
And the Spellbook, too. To see the Spellbook come out quite a few times. Okay, what's he going to do? Again, Bobby is down 1 game to Aaron right now. If Aaron wins, he is going to close it out. Bobby reaching, throwing a lot of ink down for Maleficent. And then questing with Kuzco and Merlin Goat. Puts him in 8. Aaron's going to quest with Olaf. And then pay 7 for a Be Prepared. And there we go. Wipe the board. And Aaron's still got 3 ink. Can they do anything with it?
And let's keep it going.
Throw down here. Again, the Spellbook remains. So inked a mini and threw down a rabbit to draw. And that's going to be a pass over to Bobby.
And once again, Spellbook here obviously stays on the board with the Be Prepared, and it really, makes Bobby comfortable with this game going longer. Every turn that this game goes is 1 lore closer to victory. You see Bobby, taking that lore right away. So he just takes care of business, gets that lore on the board, gets him one lore closer to winning, and then he'll go about the rest of his turn.
All right, what are we going to see now? Bobby's got a lot of ink, nothing in front of him.
Interesting.
He just passed it.
Yeah,
So what is the strategy behind that? Do you feel he has like a Tremaine he's going to play if he drops anything, or?
Well, he likely has, my guess, and it could be for a variety of reasons. Bobby is a very good player. My guess, he probably has a Be Prepared in hand. He has built his board once already and allowed it to be cleared after a Be Prepared. So he's saying, look, I've got Spellbook in play. I'm going to continue to gain lore. You now need to put some stuff on the board. I'll respond with my Be Prepared and clear the board. So ceding the initiative a little bit to Aaron, but I'd venture to guess Bobby's sitting on a Be Prepared and is happy to let Aaron try to extend himself a little bit.
Okay. Ink goes down to play the Spellbook. Puts Bobby up at 11.
And so one way to think about this with the Spellbook in play is like I keep saying, this is a 9-turn clock now. 9 turns, and Bobby can close this game out. Now, 10 or 11 if you consider an Ursula or 2 being played. So every lore that Bobby manages to gain with a character is taking 1 turn away.
Yeah.
It's 1 turn off the clock. You can think about it as a clock like about to strike midnight. And every single character that quests for 1 is 1 more turn away.
All right, so Maleficent comes out, knocks out the Fox, plays Kuzco, and then quests with the Goat. So Bobby's just chipping away at it now.
Yeah, and so here's the extension that Bobby may have been looking for, getting a Maleficent on the board. We do have Kuzco, which draws, the Goat, which is a bounce target to bring back to the hand. So perhaps, Bobby's happy here to take a lore, quest, and then maybe clear the board and draw this game out a little bit further. But we'll see.
Aaron's counting his ink. 5, 9, 12 ink over on Aaron's side.
There we go. Immediate quest. And it's exactly that. Here we are with the Be Prepared board cleared. So yeah. So Bobby, with probably several cards to play, chose at this point in the game, move to a new phase, invite Aaron out to try to accumulate, make up some lost ground with some lore. And once there's enough on the board, I'm going to reset it, and I'm going to extend this game out because again, every turn that this game goes is 1 turn closer to Bobby winning.
Yeah.
So now we're on a 7-turn clock. Let's say there's no Ursulas. We're on a 7-turn clock after this turn.
But it feels like to me 7 turns, that is a long time. Like a lot of stuff can happen there.
It is. But you have the control answers to kind of keep things going. And so here, Aaron with high lore Minnie Mouse and high lore Lady Tremaine. That's kind of the perfect answer here is putting several high lore characters, 4 lore worth on the board, and forcing Bobby to kind of deal with it. And there's the Be Prepared again.
Wow, just immediate Be Prepared.
Yep.
Not messing around. But that also kind of eliminates a whole turn for Bobby, though.
It does. So let's assume that Bobby has a Goat and a Bounce in his hand, or a Goat and a Spellbook. So Bobby, let's assume, has 2 lore in his hand. He has another lore showing in the board. So at any time, if he can get to 17 lore, he's probably one turn away from winning the game, and that's really what he's trying to get to. Draw this game out, get the answers in his hand, don't telegraph it, and get within striking distance here. So controlling the board with the Be Prepared's perfectly fine. And again, Minnie Mouse, not super powerful, but every time one of those Minnie Mouse quests, that's one turn closer.
Just chips away at it.
It just chips away at the clock.
And we got 7 for a Be Prepared. Goodbye, Minnie. Still 5 more lore out there for Aaron. Or ink out there. 6 ink now. Inking another enchanted Maui. Passes it on. Okay.
Here it is.
All right, so Bobby with 10 ink. Still has a spellbook out there. 3 for Friends on the
Has
other
some
side.
friends. Now, I think Bobby would love to see another spellbook here.
All right. Pay 1. Make
There
sure
it
you
is.
get that lore for 15. And then
Olaf.
Olaf.
There it is. 2 characters on the board again is great. Lady Tremaine can't remove both without help. But again, this is a great setup for Bobby. Aaron's really, really thinking about removing any character with lore at this point to try to keep Bobby from getting closer. And having that Olaf on the board is a little bit painful for Aaron because that's 1 lore spellbook brings to 17. And as I said earlier, Bobby most likely, I'm going to guess, has cards in hand, whether it's a spellbook combined with a goat. There's the spellbook. And he's been holding that for a while. Does he have it this turn?
That's 17.
No, not quite enough ink, unless he inks. Let's see if we have the goat. No, there's the grabbing power. Okay. So, again, striking distance now.
All right.
And that's it. Without the spell. And see, Aaron is taking a look now. With no answer for the spellbooks, there's 1 out. There's one out.
Give me an Ursula.
Give me an Ursula.
Let's see Ursula.
That is the 1 out this turn.
All right, Rabbit singing. And we know he had 3 Ursulas in hand earlier in this round, so
there's 1 left in the deck.
All right, desperately trying to draw for an Ursula here.
And it was a Minnie Mouse. There's the rabbit drawing again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's 6. So if he hasn't inked yet an Ursula, he could still play it. Didn't draw it. He was drawing for the Ursula, didn't find it. So that's game. That's game 2. Bobby taking this game. So Aaron is 1-1. Bobby is 1-1. Bobby has been on the play on both rounds. And so now Aaron, for the first time going into game 3, will be on the play, trying to close this out. But some excellent games. Excellent games. And if you like this, we also make content. So we'd love for you to follow us, Aaron and I, at Illumiteers on Twitter, or perhaps our YouTube channel where we do most of our content, at Illumiteers there. It's a lot of fun. And Jack, you stream and do box breaks, etc. on Twitch, do you not?
I do. I stream on my own channel at twitch.tv/Jack Patillo. If you ever want to go over there and check it out, I would love to have you. I typically stream on the weekends. My day job is I actually stream video games, so I'm doing that a lot during the week. So usually I take one day, usually early on a Sunday or something. I'll open up some packs, crack quite a bit of Lorcana. I'll be doing a massive box break, a case break, on February 23rd for Into the Inklands. I'm going to be opening up an entire case of Inklands live on Friday night, February 23rd, so tune in for that. Shout out to my friends over at Gamecastle for helping me set that up. And yeah, so if you want to see some cool stuff, we're crossing fingers for at least 1 enchanted and a case. I think maybe it'll happen. We are moving so fast here.
And I've got some other creators to shout out, but we're going to pause. We're going to do that when it slows down. And right now, watch as both of these players get started.
Okay. And we are off. It's our final match here. Aaron versus Bobby, 2 pros going at it. They are not strangers to the final table.
Not at all.
And they have faced off once today already. Aaron did defeat Bobby the first time they faced off yesterday during the Swiss rounds. And
there's Kuzco. So Kuzco's an interesting play. I think both players have avoided playing Kuzco on turn 2 if they had another play, and that's because Teeth and Ambitions with a 1/3 on the board makes Kuzco an easy target. So I'm not sure. It does take a turn to play, but that is removal there. So here we have the Fox coming out. Again, I think a Crab is both players are happier to play that as a bounce target, but Fox now. So I don't think either of these players are on their ideal draw. Doesn't mean anything at this point, but But yeah, we're seeing the game play out a little bit different than last game, which I think was both players on their perfect draw for the first 3 or 4 turns.
It was pretty impressive. They were exactly mirroring each other. All right, Bobby going questing with Kuzco. Kuzco's going off to Pacha's house. And we will get the lore updated here in a second. No worries. All right, back over to Aaron. All right, Aaron trading a Fox for Kuzco. And Peter Pan's Shadow is out on the board now.
And Peter Pan's Shadow, again, I said it before, but it is really in here for the mirror, is the biggest reason it's in this deck. It does give the rush characters in this deck Maui if it's being played, or the Fox evasive, which allows you to take out other evasive characters, and then plays a little bit defense as well.
Ooh, and that was a inked mini Surfer to pick up the rabbit. And back over to Aaron. And Aaron going questing. All right, picking up more. All right, we are sitting at Aaron with 5 lore, Bobby with 1. Aaron is 15 lore away from winning this tournament here at TCG Con Houston.
Yeah, I have seen, talk about the aggressive potential for these decks. I have seen Aaron in the mirror before in previous events play this deck very aggressively with some early lore characters. Ideally, he'd like to have Minnie Mouse out and then Pan's Shadow to pick up a lot of lore quickly. So clearly that might have been part of his strategy here, but Bobby slowing him down, taking that 2 lore Pan's Shadow off the board, and now forcing it to be a little more grindy.
There we go. All right, so 5-3. Bobby with 2 characters out. Rabbit going questing. Aaron up to 6. Bouncing the rabbit. Drawing a card. Okay. There we go. And there is the evasive mini on the board. Can Bobby respond to another evasive character so quickly? Got rid of Pan's Shadow, I believe, with Dragonfire.
Yeah, and so that has been an answer for Bobby before. He's Dragonfired a Minnie Mouse before, but now, wants to do something about that Minnie Mouse. Let's see, Lady Tremaine, and there it goes.
That'll do it. So Lady Tremaine on the board.
It's Tremaine for Tremaine. I do think at this point, both players, again, are trying to calculate and play around the other players, be prepared. And so I think part of the strategy is let's invite the players to use or my opponent to use their removal. But if I can get a 2 lore character to stick without targeted removal for it, or Lady Tremaine, then I'm inviting my opponent to be prepared, perhaps before they want to. So that's what it's all about right now. It's just trying to draw out that be prepared, so you can get to a point in the game where you can extend a little bit.
Yeah. All right, there we go. We got a lot of Maleficent being played right now. And so the Enchanted Tremaine took out the non-Enchanted Tremaine. Rabbit on the table. A couple rabbits out again. I don't think we're going to beat 6 rabbits, Liam. I think 6 rabbits was our cap today.
That is peak Lorcana, 6 rabbits, perhaps.
All right, Aaron, up to 8 lore already, just trying to get out ahead of Bobby, because we've seen Bobby drop that spellbook and really to start chipping away. So forcing Bobby to deal with that Tremaine. Otherwise, those 2 lore are going to be popping up every single turn. Another rabbit. Oh, we're 3 rabbits.
Yeah, it's getting a little hairy out there.
Now why? Final match of the day. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you doing this to me? All those rabbits. Rabbit MVP. Thinking about it. Is Rabbit going to go after Tremaine or Quest?
Rabbit's going to sing. Friends from the other side. Get a couple more cards. Give Bobby some more options. The Rabbit is such a good card in this format.
But the rabbit singing is just adorable, too.
All right.
Okay, Rabbit trading.
Teeth and Ambitions allowing the Maleficent trade.
Okay, Aaron's eyeballing. Seeing what he's going to do here. Bobby inking and dropping a Kuzco down.
And the llama has made an appearance.
Hey. Final match, final llamas.
So again, I do think part of the strategy here is Bobby's just going to keep adding a little bit to his board state. Drawing cards if he can, playing characters, let him draw cards, trying to draw out that be prepared. So trying to get more and more, lower cost characters out, cards that allow him to quest for a little bit of lore, and inviting Aaron to play that be prepared if he can't deal with all of Bobby's characters.
All right, Aaron quested with the rabbit there. Got 4 rabbits. Not bad, not bad. It's a good number of rabbits.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby now just questing, just trying to make up some ground on Aaron. That's going to bump him up to 8, I believe.
There's a spell book.
And there's the spell book right there. So I may have missed the lore count jump. So
I do think we are at 7. I'm waiting for that to catch up.
Okay. Don't worry, they will let us know. Chat will let us know. They'll keep us honest.
And here we go again. And again, the Olaf is just adding one more character. There's a lot of targeted removal. And there's Ursula.
Ursula, so Bobby's going to drop down.
Yeah, so there is targeted removal in the deck. I think Bobby is adding just a little bit at a time, trying to draw out that be prepared. However, Aaron has built a decent lore advantage. So Aaron's calculation here is, hey, I'm going to quest here. I'm going to go up. I'm going to remove stuff. Okay, so he's playing the offense. But playing Ursula does the same thing for Bobby. Aaron also knows that Bobby has a be prepared. And so with a 3 lore character on the board, and Aaron's sitting at 9 lore, he's now inviting Bobby, hey, let you play the be prepared first.
You make the first move, I'll keep my ink.
You clear the board. But what Ursula also allows him to do is sing the be prepared. So on Aaron's next turn, if he wants, he could sing be prepared and then immediately play another Ursula or another card. So Ursula inviting the be prepared, but also perhaps setting up this song for next turn.
Okay, and we gotta go through and check our archives for our be prepared count over the course of the weekend. It's up there, probably double digits, I imagine.
So people pointing out, Tremaine is an option here for Bobby to remove that Ursula. Like removing the option to sing be prepared is not critical here, but it's important. So,
or just banish.
Dragonfire, yeah,
that works too. I believe that was the second Dragonfire for Bobby too. I think
was it? So I think that exhausts them for this game. Yeah, that's a good point.
And then got the spellbook, and then 2 more lore from questing with the rabbit and Olaf.
And once again, the spellbook, it's so fascinating. The spellbook changes everything when it's played late game. If the opponent has the ink to use it every turn, it really does put the game on a clock, and you have to start thinking about great way to think about it is every single lore gained is 1 turn closer because the spellbook is ticking down.
Yep.
And so it really does change kind of the sense of urgency, I think. It doesn't make it critical. It doesn't mean we're rushing, but it does mean that I have to start thinking about that.
The car is rolling down the hill, basically. Another Ursula drops Bobby down.
And now it's 1 more turn on the clock.
How many more Lady Tremaines and Dragonfires could you possibly have is what Aaron's thinking right now.
Yeah. Aaron, I like to think Aaron probably has studied the deck. Aaron probably knows there's 2, so there's no more options. Interestingly here, so Tremaine, we want to get the Ursula off the board, obviously. Tremaine is an option because with the damage on the rabbits, Bobby can use his characters to challenge, remove them, leaving Ursula as the only available target for the self-banish that Lady Tremaine imposes.
Yeah, the 4 self-banish. All right, and Aaron is going to... Got 1 ink left. What do they got to do?
I bet you think Aaron has a lot of cards in hand, a lot of options here.
All right, that's 2 ink for a Kuzco.
Okay, so Kuzco, again, probably playing the role here of Tremaine Insurance. Bobby can remove both of those cards, and then Kuzco now is a Tremaine outlet, leaving Ursula up again to quest or sing Be Prepared if necessary. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Be Prepared played at this point. Bobby doesn't want to use his last one if he only has 1 in hand, but without the Dragonfires, the removal options for Ursula are a little more limited. So here we see questing, which I think is an indication that we may see a board wipe here.
And there it is.
And there it is.
It's like we saw it coming.
That's very good.
Aaron has rejoined us for the final match.
Hey, y'all. I've been watching on the stream.
Okay.
She's been trying to get the little one down all morning, and she finally passed out, so I was like, I'm going to go back. Watch the final match.
You came back for the best part of the final match.
I know.
Aaron Rubin and Bobby Break.
The absolute last game. This is going to be it. This is deciding who's going to win the tournament right now.
This has been such a nail-biter watching on stream, so I'm excited that I get to watch the culminating moment of this weekend with both of you guys.
Absolutely. That spellbook just doing work right now. Just out there by itself.
It is so amazing. I was actually standing behind us, kind of watching this game live a little bit earlier with one of the Lorcana artists, Jake Parker, who's talking about how he's never seen a Lorcana game actually played in person.
Oh, wow.
And I was telling him, you're never going to see probably a cooler matchup than the one that we have here today.
All right.
I mean, yeah, definitely cool in terms of power, and even though it's the mirror, like, I don't know, we're getting to see them try two different versions of this deck, so I'm having fun with it, even though it's a deck that we're familiar with. There's
another Ursula.
There's Ursula, and Ursula, doing card draw, like knocking Barbie back a turn, but also that 3 lore is just, it really says you have to deal with it.
Yeah.
If you let it stick for 2 turns in Quest, I mean, that's 6 lore closer to victory, so it's just a menacing presence on the board.
Yeah. And she's got what? She has, I believe, 8 for her defense?
Dear TCG Con folks, will the person that was in a Mankind mask please do us a favor and go hang out with Mick Foley for a second, please?
Yeah, so she's a 2/8, so that she is not insignificant. She can take a few hits before going down, so you got to deal with that somehow.
Yeah, these are two very experienced, very high caliber players, pros in other card games. So, I mean, to get to see them face off against each other, you're really not going to get to see it outside of a big tournament.
Yeah.
Which is really great.
Happy to be here for it.
A couple other content creators I missed in the comments. We do have Jacob from Ready Set Draw, another fantastic channel in the chat, and then Googly Glimmers, one of our favorite content creators as well. You can follow him on Twitter. Fantastic content.
And that Maleficent right there is going to knock out the Ursula.
Yeah,
so,
exactly what.
Villain on villain.
Exactly what the doctor ordered in that case.
And there's Tremaine getting rid of, it's just villain on villain on villain.
Yeah, I mean, really, both they're just playing removal, and they're trying to get like a 2 lore character to stick around for more than 1 turn. So just inviting the other player, drawing out the removal. One thing I'll remind everyone, like Bobby is the type of player, he oftentimes has several lore in his hand with GOAT or bounces, and he doesn't like to telegraph that. So, Bobby is the type of player who likes to creep his lore up, put himself within striking distance, 3 or 4 lore away, and then close out the game all at once, possibly catching your opponent by surprise. Not Aaron, though, because Aaron knows this about Bobby, and so Aaron is constantly thinking, I have to keep Bobby away from 16, 17 lore.
Yeah.
16, 17 lore means Bobby can unexpectedly win the game with the cards in hand. And so where most people are thinking about, I got to keep my opponent away from 20, like 19, Aaron's thinking, I've got to keep Bobby away from 16 or 17. And the spellbook is just counting down the turns.
There it is. Just ticking away. I'm just fascinated by this, watching this battle of the brains.
Yeah.
It's a mind game. It is.
Yeah, absolutely it is.
It's this is a Princess Bride situation. I know what I know. I know you know what I know probably, and I know that you know that I know what you know.
Just wait till I get started.
And here we go. Once again, Elsa. There's one Elsa in this list, and we've seen it played both last games, exerting those characters, So Aaron unable to quest for those 2 next turn, setting him off to the side to remind himself, don't ready these.
Don't touch. don't touch. No touchy.
No touchy. One of them is Cusco's.
Yeah,
you know.
there you go.
And Elsa back to the hand. Now, Bobby unfortunately has telegraphed that Elsa's there. Now Aaron knows that and has to play around it, but having it back in the hand available again feels so good, especially when Bobby is just trying to draw this game out and get it closer and closer and closer to being able to close it out with that spellbook.
Yep, it's chipping away at it. All right, 4 ink for our rabbit. Gonna draw another card. Looks like a Be Prepared may have just been pulled.
Getting interesting.
I think at this point Aaron's hoping to maybe play another character and just play enough that Bobby is invited to use another Be Prepared if he has it.
All right, Maui.
There we go. Okay, and here it is. So now Aaron's presenting a board state which invites Bobby to play that Be Prepared if he has it, draw that out of his hand, and again, playing it for 7 ink instead of singing it, Bobby will be able to play something else on the board, but then Aaron has all his resources available to play something else as well. So that's probably what Aaron's expecting here. Although he'd love to see his stuff stick around.
Yeah.
Of course, Bobby has other options. Playing the Elsa again to exert 2 characters to prevent that lore gain is an option. Trying to draw it out a little bit. And there it is.
There she goes.
Exerting the same 2 characters, setting those off to the side. And so now that delays that quest by another turn. We'll see if Bobby allows Elsa to stay on the board.
And
And another spellbook.
All right, here we go.
Interesting.
Bobby is half the amount of turns that he needed with the spellbook victory. So,
yeah, so there was a choice that Bobby made there. He could have played, left an ink unexerted, played the Olaf that he inked. And there it is.
all right, Maleficent takes out Elsa. And then looks like questing with the snake.
And this is I feel like a pretty good. If Bobby has the Be Prepared, and he doesn't have many cards in hand, but if he has the Be Prepared, this is not a terrible situation for him. Clear the board, but he is running low on cards. So even though if he clears the board, it looks good for him with the spellbooks. If Aaron can quickly rebuild his board after a board wipe, then
all right. So here we go.
Bobby drawing.
Bobby is 3 turns away.
Aaron dropping that Minnie Mouse on the board, basically saying, "I win unless you have the 1 card."
Counting,
1, 2, 3,
looking,
4.
thinking.
That is 8, unless he has it.
That's 9. So,
Oh, okay.
So Maleficent's going to knock out Minnie.
The evasive Minnie. Okay, so now 6 lore showing on the board. So Aaron's still in a good position with a goat bounce.
Yep.
I don't know if he has it, but a goat bounce would do it. So Bobby, 2.
2 with that spellbook. That puts him up to 16.
That does. And now Bobby showing the
win
game-winning
condition,
board state for the next turn, unless Aaron can close this out or remove Maleficent. Of course, Maleficent being the only character on the board is susceptible to Lady Tremaine.
I see a
So
rabbit.
bouncing that Lady Tremaine or having another one is an option to remove Maleficent.
All right, and I believe the Lady Tremaine and Cusco are now eligible, right? They were exerted because of the Elsa before, but I think they're both back up now.
They can now.
That is correct, yes.
Okay.
So singing Friends. Aaron again looking for that win condition, hopefully. Looking for the goat bounce if he can find it. Or, at the very least, something to remove that Maleficent. That is the minimum that he has to do this turn. All right, we're seeing questing. And so removing that Maleficent might be a board wipe, in which case let's get that lore while you can.
Oh, he's thinking about it.
Let's see another
And there
sing,
we
Be Prepared. Okay, so could have gone up to 18, but we sing, Be Prepared, clear the board, leaving the resources available for Aaron to play something else. Now,
So Aaron still has, it looks like, 8 more ink available to him. Thank you again, Aaron, for making it easy to read. Paying 3, we're about to see a goat here. Paying 3 for an evasive Minnie. 3 more for an evasive Minnie.
I mean, that's really the perfect play here. 2 characters with 2 lore. Bobby has to remove 1 in order to prevent Aaron from winning the game.
And Bobby has 2 cards in hand right now.
Bobby does. I mean, with the goat bounce again, that's winning, but the odds of Bobby having that combo are fairly low.
18 right there.
So we need
see.
removal, or
Are we
that's
gonna see
indicating a goat. And the
Wow.
goat bounce, there it is.
Wow.
And look, I have to point out, if those are the only 2 cards in hand, and I didn't see the ink, but if those are the only 2 cards in hand, he had to top deck one of those.
Wow.
He had to top deck one of those to win
is,
that game.
What an epic final. Bobby is our winner. Oh my gosh.
All right, don't go anywhere. Don't go. The game is over. Don't go anywhere yet. We're going to bring you Bobby and maybe Aaron over here to talk about what happened at the end of that game. So hold on. You'll hear from the champion. Let's go see if we can bring him in.
Oh my gosh. What a game.
I'm going to tell you, Jack. Like this is some amazing play and a little bit of luck. Like if Bobby did indeed top deck what he needed, like Aaron had that in hand. Bobby had to have the goat bounce to win.
Yeah.
Had to have both.
Yeah.
He was sitting with one in his hand and thinking, all I need to do is draw the other piece.
I wonder which one he had. I'm sure we can ask and find out if he had the goat and was waiting for a mim, because mim, there's multiple chances to do it, but needing that goat,
That is true.
Or was he sitting with a snake and just drew the, oh man, what a draw.
I mean, in theory, sitting with the mim is even more of a nail biter, because
Yeah.
if he had the goat, he could draw another goat.
Yeah.
And to get 2 lore. But if he's sitting on the mim, he has to draw the goat.
Huge, epic victory right there. Well, and Bobby and Aaron trade, so they both won one. Of course, Bobby wins the one that matters most. Bobby is your champion here at our Lorcana tournament at TCG Con Houston. Wow, so close. How you feeling, man? That's just coffee. Don't worry.
I mean, yeah, it was just from my side. I don't know if you guys can see my hand the whole game, but I kept 2 uninkables on the mulligan. It was Peter Pan Shadow, which is a card that's very important in the matchup, and Rabbit, which is also very important. And I mulliganed like 3 or 4 cards. I don't remember exactly, but I drew a ton of uninkables, so I was kind of flying by the seat of my pants in the early turns of the games, basically having to rip ink every turn, and then eventually I ran out of that gas. I think I missed ink on turn 6 and 7, so from that point I thought the game was over. But I just started ripping my ink and just playing the Ursulas, managed to get back into the game, and then from there it was just like really back and forth, really exciting. It was just really great.
You had complete control at the end there. It was just pure luck what happened drawing that Madam Mim at the very end.
If you guys want to slide over this way a little bit, we got the back of Liam's head on camera.
I do want to say we did see your hand. We saw you sitting on 3 Ursulas, a Be Prepared, Rabbits, like no inkables. I do want to mention the final turn. You just brought it up. You had the spellbooks. You had 16 lore. You had the spellbooks, which would take you to 18. Getting the microphone. The spellbooks, which would take you to 18. You needed a goat bounce or 2 goats to close it out.
Yeah.
What did you have in hand? The goat or the bounce?
I had the goat.
You had the goat.
Yeah.
So you need to draw a mim or a goat to win the game.
I mean, or I could have drawn Dragonfire, but yeah, I never had to go draw.
Or Be Prepared.
Or Be Prepared.
Or Be Prepared,
Yeah, I could have played Go Be Prepared. It would have done the same thing.
And then, because if you get to next turn, then you would have. So you had several outs.
I had a lot of outs, yeah.
Yeah, but man, what did it feel like to draw that mim?
I couldn't believe it. That's why you saw how I put it down and I just lifted it up.
We could kind of see you shaking there a little bit at the end, because you knew there was one thing you needed to make happen, and you made it happen. So that was incredible. And seeing the spellbooks out there too, it was fun, because
so many mirror matches.
The spellbooks were so interesting because it's just a ticking clock, and like most people can't deal with that kind of stuff. So. Wow, so how are you feeling after this?
Oh, I'm exhausted. I just had to play mirror matches all day long, and it's just grueling.
Yeah.
Every round was a mirror match.
It's so fascinating. So one of the things you told us earlier is you lost 1 game in the Swiss rounds, and that was to Aaron.
Yep.
And so, really, it's coming out with you as 1 and 2, but it easily could have been you 1 and 2, and you just happened to win, games at different times. So, Aaron, with you having, beaten Bobby earlier and seen some of the differences in his list versus many others with the Elsa, the Dragonfire, and then what was the other? And the spellbooks. What did that do to your planning for this game? Like, were you?
I mean, basically, so his tech is spellbooks and mine is Peter Pan Shadow, which means I'm gonna generally want to control the earlier portions of the games because I have more early answers to his Mini Styler Surfer, and I can potentially run away with my Mini Styler Surfer and functionally extra copies of Mini Stylish Surfer with the Peter Pan Shadows. So I'm really wanting to put him on the back foot, like, generate a lore lead with my evasives, because he's going to have those spell books at the end of the game to kind of lock down and control the game. So really trying to put him on the back foot and then force him to be prepared so I can just keep the aggression coming. And actually in that game it was still if I had a goat on the last draw, it would have been lethal as well.
Yep.
And I had more. It was really interesting because I had the Be Prepared in my hand, so I was like, I could sing Be Prepared and just play this really safe route, or I can try and dig deeper, try and find the goat and just sing it. I ended up going for the song route, but it was just really an interesting spot.
Yeah, no, we saw it. But at the end of the game, we were both looking at it. We were like, all right, we have to assume there's a goat bounce over here, so Aaron could have lethal, Bobby could have lethal, because that goat bounce and then the spellbooks for you allow you to really quickly accelerate to push you over the edge, despite what you're showing on the board. So it was very exciting.
I do want to talk about one thing, the Minnie Mouse standoff. Did y'all see that?
Yes.
So we both knew we had crab, and we just didn't turn those Minnie Mouse.
Yep, we did. We said that the whole game.
Yeah.
Both of you at times would have loved to have been questioning with your Minnie Mouse. You said the only reason they're not is because they know about crab. And eventually you did and said, hey, if you've got it, use it. But I've got teeth and ambition, so I'll just knock you out in return. So, and we saw that play out. So it is funny how the crab changes your calculations there in the early part of the game.
Yeah, I put one crab down and he knew I had the other one. So
that's another thing to know. His list is 3 crabs, so I was I had it much more on my radar.
Okay.
The other ones. And there was a turn in game 1 where he was really, wrestling in his mind for what he was going to ink, and then he inked a crab. Yeah. And for some reason, I was just like, he's got a second crab, and he did, and that was the great crab standoff of 2024.
Yeah, I love it.
we watched it play out. I think, if not all 3 games, at least 2 of them. Was there a gamesmanship to inking the crab, being like, hey, I've got it, and maybe I don't have another one?
I tried to trick him, but it didn't work. I tried to.
I don't know. In my mind, it's just such a significant piece of your answers in the early game that he had to have had another one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, so what's next for you guys? Aaron, what you got coming up next?
Honestly, I don't really have anything lined up till set 3 is coming out, but I did start streaming on Twitch. So I've had 2 streams so far, Lorcana Bros, so come check me out. I don't have a schedule or anything yet, but I do stream in the evenings after work, so come check it out. I talk a lot through my lines, very technical discussion there. So if you're trying to get better, come check it out.
Nice. Bobby, what do you got going on?
I'll just be traveling to any of the Texas tournaments, all the 1Ks, and I'm looking forward to the new championship tournaments that are going to start in April.
Yes.
It'll be real exciting to do.
Everyone wants that Stitch. Everyone wants Stitch. Such a cool card. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much for an amazing final match. That we couldn't have asked for anything better. You guys are the best here, and it was incredible to watch. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
I will say.
Just make one more point.
Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Also, for those of you who don't know, there's a Discord called Lore 20 Pro. It's got some really the top names in there in Lorcana. So I actually joined that Discord and learned a ton from the members in there. So if you're trying to learn, try and get better, check out that Discord.
Cool, sweet.
Yeah, no,
awesome.
That's great. I would say again, thanks for joining us, and definitely 2 players to keep on your radar if you like competitive Lorcana play. I know both of you are angling probably for the regionals and nationals when they come out. Try to rise to the top there and set championships. So definitely a couple amazing competitive players to keep on your radar.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, guys. Appreciate it. Have a good one.
All right, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Take
thanks
care.
so much.
Stay safe getting home.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Liam, this is gonna start wrapping it up. Let's get Aaron back in here as well. We got a little coffee on the floor. That's all right. It happens. Let's get everyone here. Again, thank you very, very much, everyone, for tuning in. You guys are absolutely amazing. It's been so much fun, so much Lorcana over the last couple of days, and I couldn't have done it with anyone better. Thank you very much, guys. Y'all have been fantastic. Thank you.
Thanks, Jack.
Absolutely.
It's great to get to stream with you, and hang out.